Mikey. Oh, here we are. Let's see, mic looks a little bit low, but you can see my movement and stuff and my watermark because I didn't buy what's my jigger yet, but it actually kind of works where I put everything. I don't think my settings are quite dialed in yet, but for now it works. And that's what I wanted. Thank you to Jelly for the awesome mic. Let me pump my mic up just a little bit here. Oh, I can do it here too. Hello, hello, hello. No, come on. Get me up there into the yellow. Let's try this. That's a little bit better. Hello, hello, hello. That's better. Okay. Yeah, it turned out great. I like all the bits and bobs that move when I move. Can't quite tell, but the potions in the flasks, test tubes down there actually do move. Yeah, I'm really happy with all the movement and stuff that happens. I've seen, I don't really want to do a comparison, but just looking at, I really didn't know what I was doing when I got into this, but I've been thinking for a while that I want to do a VTuber, and yeah, Jelly just happened to start opening commissions, and I'm like, well, how about that? Because I like Jelly's Jelly Girl, and well, I'm not going to talk about your biblically accurate model, but yeah, it was interesting at least. And it just happened to be the right time, and I gotta tell you, anybody who watches this, whether it's live or later, from what I've seen out there, Jelly is awesome and amazing. The model and the rigging, one person, fairly quickly, and for what I got, it's an amazing price, I think. If you don't know, usually models and rigging are separate people, and I've seen models and rigging both start for each of the two people that do it at $500 each. And I've seen up to, I think it was $6,000 each. So, given what I got for the price that I paid, it's just wow. Let's see. Where did I put? Yeah. So, if you're interested in getting a model of your own in this sort of style, this is Jelly's style, then check out Jelly. And yeah, she's great to work with. Took my suggestions and ran with them. The Jelly Army coming soon. So yeah, it's just awesome. Anything that's not quite working right is mostly on me. I haven't figured out all the settings and tweaked all the dials and sliders and numbers and everything. I did spend some time doing it, and then I also spent some time working with Mix It Up. So if you haven't noticed, I do have channel point redeems that work, hopefully. We'll see how well they work, but I got some emotes. And hopefully I'll stop waving. There we go. I stopped waving there. And then I've got my angry. And then I've got confused. Well, confused and angry, I guess. And then we've got ooh eyes, which won't work with confused. And I can remove all that. This one. Yeah, some of them I have timers and some of them I don't. I forget which is which. So I need to go back and get all these set. But here's, oop. Hey, I'm the broadcaster. I should be able to override the timeout. Let me go into my channel points directly, and I can do ooh eyes through that. Did it work, or is it still on timer? I guess since the timer's through Twitch, maybe it won't do it. That's weird. In any case, I do have the amazing magic one, which I thought was really neat. I'm gonna cast a spell on you. And then I can remove them all. Yep. And then I also set up, so far it's just this one. And for some reason my model moved, so it's in the wrong place now. Even though I locked it before, I don't know. I have to figure that out. But I do have the head pats, and I do have the sketch of a random stuff, which so far just has head pats, but it should be a random item or action. I downloaded, if everybody didn't see, there's some pride flags that are out there. I retweeted them for free you can use, and I haven't set those up yet. And there's some other things, like I think I've got emotes are supposed to work, but I haven't really tested those. So this is kind of scuffed. I just sort of set it up. I wanted to do this like a month ago when I first got it from Jelly, but the timing is wrong. I've had some busy times at work, and my energy has been low. And for some reason, when I woke up this morning, I got up and started doing stuff and had energy. So I took some stuff to the curb for the scavengers to grab, and I sat down for a minute. I'm like, I have energy. I should go ahead and get my debut over with. I know I didn't really advertise it, and I don't know who's actually around to come watch me and all that, but I wanted to have it done so I could show it off. It's been so hard not showing this off to people. I showed it off to people that I know in real life, but all my online friends and people I've been talking about it, but I haven't really shown it off to. So it's been frustrating not being able to show it off, because I really wanted to do it on stream where you could really see it in action rather than just, because the images don't do justice. Like, you can't see the tail of the hood in a picture, and you don't get the sense of movement where everything's just moving around. My feet are shuffling a little bit, looks like, and just everything's moving. It's awesome. I didn't set this up yet as a command, but out here, let me find them. I also have, I'm going to put these as commands here when I remember to do it, but I've got the links to the behind the scenes from Jelly's stream of both the model creation and the rigging. So I'm going to put those commands. Again, I just set Mix It up shortly, like a week or two ago. I just started messing with Mix It Up, and I started putting some commands in and shifting things off of MooBot and everything, and trying to figure out how I want to set everything up. And then I'm using my laptop, my newer laptop, so nothing is set up. So I had to go start from scratch and get all my scenes set up and all that. So I recreated everything from scratch. Beauty. Dang it. Why did that happen? Jangles. Let me get over to my stream settings. Too many windows open. So why does that not... Why can I not see my moderator view here and untime you out? Hold on. Hold on, Jangles. I'm getting there. I'll untime you out. Untime out. There we go. I don't even know what your message was to do that. Well, to be fair, that's what I do in your stream, so you know. So now that it's revealed, I have to crack up, Jangles, because the other day when we were talking about it, you mentioned how much you like Jelly's VTuber, and I was like, oh, you mentioned Jelly. Oh, I want to tell you so bad that it was Jelly that did it, but then you could go find it before I did the debut. So, yeah, I don't know whether that was Thursday or Friday's stream of Jangle Beauties, but I was laughing so hard. So very hard. Oh. Yeah, see all the movement I've got? All the things that move, and if I do this, you can see the tail of my hood coming out, swinging. I can shift and move and look up and look down and stuff. I've got the redeems, channel point redeems for expressions and such. I can actually do this by hand, but I forget the keys. So that's the problem. I'm not familiar with doing this yet, so yeah, you talk about detail. Let me unlock my model here, because I want to point out some of the detail. Like, look at this. See how the liquid is sloshing in the bottles? You see the logos on my gloves, and then down here you can see that's moving, and there's an Easter egg here. If you watch Jelly's, yeah, oop, dang it. And then it's hard to see, well, you can sort of see it here, but there's texture on some of these. Like, look at the tabard here, this piece in the front. You see the subtle knotwork that fades out. And there's a texture on this belt. You just look at all the movement, and then you see the dagger back here, and it moves. And the belt pouch over here. You see there's a seam down there, and there's even a little bracelet over here. You can hardly see until I move. It's all hidden and stuff. Yeah, it's just, you see my initials here. This is the preview that I did. There's a necklace or choker necklace thing. Oh no, you got rid of the choker. That's right. It's just the necklace now. Necklace down there. Unfortunately, I default to a frown for some reason. I can't figure that part out yet. But you can see my lips are moving. I can make expressions, and then let's see. If I go over here, okay, that's what it is. So I can go. Did that work? No. Oh, that was wave. Oops, that was the wrong one. I didn't want wave. I wanted angry. So I've got emotes. There's my angry. Confused. I'll wait for that one. This one's kind of subtle until you're zoomed in like this, but I've got ooh eyes. You can see the difference here, how they shrink and expand when I do the ooh. And let's see, A. And F, okay. Yeah. And see how stuff moves, and look like if I look up, you can see the back of my hair even back here. You normally don't see, but if I up, you can then see the back of my hair back there, and just like this little bit has knotwork connecting it, and there's little designs on all the beads and stuff. There's a knotwork tattoo back here above the knife. There's also little bangles here. I mean, look at the little design here on the leg piece. Boy, everybody's... So I apologize to everybody, but you know, I do IRL sometimes, and so MooBot is set to be really, really, really strict, so that, there you go, you're on timed out now. So MooBot's set to be really strict so that when I'm IRL, I don't have to worry about things happening when I'm not paying attention to chat, basically, because I don't have too many moderators. So, hey Maka, how's it going? So yeah, what else am I? Oh yeah, I was going over all the details, just all over the place. And my Knotwork logo's integrated into different parts. And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Jelly did an amazing job. And yeah, it's awesome. Now if I take this out and I do, let's see, this, oh, that's confused, dang it. There we go. Hello everybody. And then the other one I didn't do, let's see, there's ooh eyes, there it goes, is the magic one. So now that I had this and I'm playing around with it, now I want like different outfits, and I want more emotes, and I want, you know, accessories and stuff, and I'm just getting really into all the things you can do with the VTuber. Yeah, and if you, I mean, I can do all the emotes here again. Oops, so you can see them. Magic and all of everything. Confused and angry and... No, I don't have a lot of the standard stuff. I do... Did I put the water bottle? I was messing with the water bottle, but I don't think I actually put it in yet. All I have so far is the head pat. But you can redeem with channel points a bunch of different stuff. Let me remove the emotes with the channel points. Yeah, the magic one, I was so surprised. It's awesome. It's another one Jelly did for me. Um, yeah. So again, if you guys missed it earlier, oops, I'm shouting. Jelly is the one who did both the rigging and the model, and she just did an amazing job with this. I'm so happy. I like doing this stuff so you can see all the different movement, the hood tassel at the end, and all this stuff. It's really, really awesome. Let me set up. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this one. No, it's model. There it goes. Model. And I have VTuber. I set a bunch of commands up so people have questions and all that stuff. I'm using VTube Studio, so there's that. But let me get the videos again. Oops, gotta make sure I did the wrong ones. Oops. Earlier I had one of the wrong ones. I did one of the private ones, sorry. Your setup video for me is what I clicked instead of the right one. So here is, dang it, I have too many windows on one laptop. Oh man, that's not right either. I didn't want that one. I wanted the actual link here, please. Okay. This is the right link. That's for when Jelly was working on stream. On my model. And let's see, let me get this set up real quick so we can have it. I'll make it better later, but I'm going to make it BTS1. There we go. That way we have labels around them. They're not just the links. It's easier to figure out. So if you'd like to see part of Jelly's process in creating the model, and then I'll do the other one for the rigging part of it, because that's also very interesting. Oops, I messed up there. Here we go. PTS2. There we go. So now we've got those commands set up so anybody can see anytime what's going on. What else can we show off? I don't know, it's just wild. Oh, I was going to say about the Easter egg. Yeah, there's an Easter egg in one of the beads that if you watch the model creation, you'll see. So that's fun as well. And let's see. thought I had... Oh, that's on my... Yeah. The secret jelly that's hidden in my model. I won't spoil where it is, but you can... I showed it earlier. I thought I saw it when I was zoomed in earlier. But yeah, you can see exactly where it is and what it looks like, because Jelly put it in live on stream, which is really fun. Yep, if you know what to look for, it's there. It's really subtle. It blends in well if you don't know it's there. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm ready to do all sorts of more stuff. I want to put in more items and do color changes and outfit changes and more expressions and emotes and accessories and all the things. I'm just excited. It's really amazing having this done. But part of it was just finally debuting it. It's been like a month or more since I got it. I can't even remember. But work's been such a slog that I just haven't had the energy. And just for some reason today was the day that I had energy. And I was like, yes, let's do it. I have energy. Let's go. Get this out there in the world. Because I know I've been talking about it in various channels, and people have been saying they're looking forward to seeing it, but I wanted to debut it on stream so you could really get that good idea of all the fun things that happen. Because one thing I really noticed is that a simple image doesn't convey the extent of a VTuber. You really have to see it in action. And I just followed VTube Studio on Twitter recently, and they regularly retweet model showcases, which are amazing. If you're looking into getting a model, and Jelly, if you haven't yet, you should really get into one of those and have them retweet you, because I think it's amazing. It's just a short, just kind of like the model preview video, and it gives you a much better idea of all the things than a static sheet. Yeah, just look at the, VTube Studio's retweets recently, and you'll see it. You can get an idea of all the different possibilities out there, whether they're mostly person looking or anthropomorphic or whatever style. There's demons and angels and succubi and critters and creatures and furries and blobs and, well, I won't spoil some of the weird. I don't want to say weird, because it's really not that. It's unusual. That's what I mean. Unusual stuff out there. Yeah, stuff that's out there. It's awesome to see what they do with it. And there's just people using like the newer iPhone tracking to really get very detailed mouth and eye tracking, and some of the stuff that's coming soon in VTube Studio that people are playing with, and just the way people animate things is different. The rigging, and then the different art styles. That's the other big thing. It's just the art styles, because you could have this model or this character done by different people, and it could turn out completely different. It's wild to see some of that. So yeah, it's awesome. I think for Jelly specifically, being the one who created this, and some others, you're up to what, half dozen now, I think, Jelly, including the couple you made for yourself. Because I know you did the 3 commissions, and then you did a couple before you did official commissions. You did a couple for yourself. So Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, I'd love to take my character and whether it's you or somebody else, have my character redone as right, right, Jelly. I kind of figured, but I just know for the ones that are out there in the world, I know you've done two or three for yourself that I've seen, plus two or three others that are out in the world. Plus, I know I was one of the first three commissions, and you had more after that. So I'm just giving a quick number. Oh, nice. I didn't realize so many. So you have quite. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about your portfolio page because you have some on there too. I forgot about those. Oh, yeah, but I haven't seen too many of them live. I've only seen a couple, so I guess that's what I'm going by. But yeah, whether I was, yeah. Hello, brain. Oh, that's right. Shifty has a bunch. I've only seen one or two of Shifty's. I forgot about that. Yep, but that makes sense being a shapeshifter. But I was thinking, okay, take my character, and then this was the wizard mage kind of character, and let's make them a paladin or a cleric or a rogue or some other class archetype. Yeah, like that. Have those variants. And then because I'm big into cyberpunk, have some of the cyberpunk archetypes as well. And so do a mage, but do it that cyberpunk Shadowrun style mage instead of, or maybe a shaman, sort of cyberpunk shaman style. And then the other things are just, simple things like, hey, I'd like to have a staff or a sword or a shield or whatever as accessories I could be holding. And then I like to have a couple different outfits, but, I'm just thinking, oh, my problem is a lot of times I want so much, it's hard to decide what I want first. The bonk stick. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. That's why I was glad you had such a simple form. You didn't have so much free form. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for that. Yeah. There we go. Hello. Oh man, the other thing I was looking at, I want so many more expressions. I can't remember who it was. It was a Japanese VTuber who does their own, he was an artist, so they do their own model, but it's very stylized. It's very like, if you're familiar with Ghibli's Yamada's, that sort of rough style, sort of looks like that style. And they use expressions like constantly while they're doing stuff. It's really neat how they do that. So they'll have like, well, they'll have like a quick zoom if they're like looking at you, and then they'll have different expressions. And if they start to understand something, they'll have a little light bulb pop out, and they'll have like, if they go, oh, they'll have that expression. And it's really neat how they do it. I don't know if they're doing keyboard commands or if they've got like Touch Portal or a Stream Deck or whatever set up to have all those happening, but man, I could not believe how neat that was. I don't know if I could do that. if I wasn't doing anything but just chatting. So if you're unfamiliar with my streams, I do IRL. Sometimes I go outside and do geocaching. I do stuff, 3D printing stuff. I've done crafting stuff. I want to do some cosplay stuff. Jangles. No, I'm not worried about how long that's taking, because I haven't had the energy to do it anyway. I do some lock sport. So I haven't actually done knot work. Actually, I've done, well, okay, I've done the boring kind of knot work. I had a little cheap knot work lesson kit thing that I got off eBay for just, practicing different knots for like camping or climbing and stuff. So I was doing that a little bit, but I haven't done too much other than that. I love Celtic knotwork, though. If you can't tell by some of the affectations I have, like, for example, one of my emotes. So that emote I have had for a very long time. Well, not that particular one, but that basic theme. I drew that in Microsoft Paint many, many, many years ago, pixel by pixel. And I've used it as my avatar ever since. I've had this particular name for a long time. And, oh, perfect timing. So I can thank Ophi for the line that's going around, my overlay line that's going around the entire screen, and the animated. I think I have 2 different animated knotworks that Ophi did for me. And then I have some other things that Ophi did for me, other icons that I can put in the corner that tell, like, if I'm 3D printing or whatever, geocaching, I have different logos for that Ophi did for me. And then also, while we're plugging people, I'm going to go ahead and plug Drac, who did the new version of my logo, who did my intro video, and some of the emotes. Like Drac did this one, this one, this one, and this one. So Drac did these emotes. And Drac is actually in the UK, funnily enough, over nearish Jelly. And then also I want to plug Pop Ski, I guess, according to Insomniac. I would have said it Pop Sky, but Insomniac has them as a moderator and says it Pop Ski, so I'm guessing that's how you're supposed to say it. Who did my theme song and is about to close commissions on music. I'm really happy with my theme song, and it turned out great. And again, they were great to work with. I gave them a vague idea. They came up with the bass, and then we worked to get the details until it's where it's at. It's kind of like working with Jelly. I was going to go back to that. I kind of got off track, but so yeah, I'm really glad Jelly's commission form is fairly simple. It's not just one text field saying, "Hey, explain what you want." It's, "Hey, give me some inspiration photos. Give me the things that you want off this list, and here's, describe your character and give me some things to go off from there." because if it's just a text field, I sort of get overwhelmed with, I want all the things. I don't know what to tell you that what I want because I want everything. And that's what I was kind of getting at earlier, is that now that I have this much, I'm really happy that Jelly's form was simple because it got me started. Because if I kept looking at different people's commission forms and like, just here's a text field, just describe everything you want. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I want my character. Just, that's what I want. I want a character. I don't know what to tell you. I just want the character. Yes. Yes. But as we talk about Jelly, language is so inexact. It's fun. Language is different from meaning. And I'm really fascinated by that. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Terence McKenna, but I listened to some Terence McKenna stuff many years ago, back when I was in college, and one of his things was that meaning and language are separate. And so it doesn't matter what language you're speaking in as long as your meaning gets through. But by the same token, it's hard to narrow down your meaning with inadequate language. Very interesting stuff. That's Terence McKenna. I can't remember. I know I had two CDs with Terence on it. One was with Space-Time Continuum, I think. I don't remember what the other one was. But very interesting stuff. Evidently, he was a big advocate for shamanistic use of various mind-altering substances and did a bunch of raves and things. Very interesting person. But back to what I was talking about wanting all the things, not knowing where to start. Jelly's form was very helpful in getting me where to start, because then I had to look up references. And then I had to narrow down those references to just the couple that I could upload at once. And then I had to sort of decide which ones sort of convey more of what I want than others. So from one, I was like, well, I really like the knot work on the trim on this one. And from this one, I was like, well, I really like, I don't know, the way they did the legs here. And then this one, I really liked the way they did this. Like the clothing on the upper body. And, oh, I like this detail on this one. And, or I just like the whole thing. I just like the whole impression or feeling that I got from the whole image. So that was fun. And then, trying to think what else really helped with that. I didn't give Jelly much else to go on. Like, here's a couple things. I want an NB Mage Wizard, and here's some images. And then here's the emotes out of the list that I want. And that was it. That's really all I gave Jelly. And even the first sketch that came back was amazing. It's like, wow, you really took all that stuff and ran with it. And then from there, we worked out a couple details or a couple broad strokes, like the way the belt was, bits of the legs, the trim on the lower parts of the coat. There was a choker at first. The hair, I like asymmetry. So I wanted a little more asymmetry in there. Yes, exactly, Jelly. So I wanted to figure out where we could put some more asymmetry in. So I liked the one side longer with the hair, and then the way the belt is tied with the flaps hanging down on one side, and then they aren't square, they're sort of angled, because I thought the square didn't work as well everything seemed to be angular, and then there was a square belt, so I liked having the angles on the belt, and then the extra, we'll call it a knotwork chain coming down to hold the bead on the left there. And then we put my mini logo on the gloves. They look like they're glowing a little bit, which is really cool. That came, if you're familiar with Helsing, came from, inspired by Alucard's gloves there. That came into my mind. And then I wanted my initials on the clasp up by the neck, and the fade in the hair too. The color change in the hair. And then, oh yeah, we brought the purple and green down to the boots. Nice, Jelly. Yeah, if you didn't know, Jelly's also an amazing cosplayer who was on stage at TwitchCon last year, I think it was, with a wild costume. Yeah. So what's funny, Jelly, is now I'm thinking of how could I cosplay this character? It's like, is this possible to cosplay? Because that'd be fun to do. Because then nobody that doesn't know me would know who I am, which I think is amusing. Who are you? I'm me. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to do the layers. And of course the knotwork would be fun to figure out. And then the fading, I think, would be the other thing. But yeah, the textures and layers would be... Whew. We'll see. I have one cosplay that Beauty and the Beast is working on for me as a... getting sort of a reference together on what I need. Because I've done, like, bare budget, starving college student cosplays before, but I want to do something a little more advanced, and I'd like to actually do some of the sewing for it, because I have this sewing machine that I bought after my other one broke down, because during the start of the plague I was doing a lot of masks, so I bought a cheap sewing machine to get those done, but it broke. And I was advised they would cost more than the sewing machine cost in the first place to get it fixed. So I bought this fancier one, hoping that it would last longer. It's a Elna sewing machine. I think I should have gone with the Brother, because I see a lot of people that stream have good luck with Brother machines, like Random Tuesday. I think, Jelly, do you have a Brother? I can't remember what machine you have. Or is that your embroidery machine? I can't remember. I can't remember who has which machines. No, Random Tuesday has a sewing machine and embroidery machine, and one of them's a Brother. I don't remember. Oh, Janime, yeah. Right. I was thinking about a Janime. I was thinking about a Brother. I ended up going locally, and I found this Elna that they recommended. So that's what I ended up with. And I don't really know how to use it. I set it up like I thought it was supposed to be, and I tried using it a couple of times and just didn't go anywhere with it. So I think if I got an embroidery machine, I'd get a Brother, because I've seen people enjoy using the Brothers for embroidery. The one thing that I think is on Random Tuesday's machine that I really like is that it actually keeps track of your what's it called? The spool under the needle plate. Anyway, it tells you when that runs out. Yeah, I've seen some all-in-ones and I've seen some bobbin. That's what it is. Couldn't think of the word. Thank you, Jelly. So yeah, the bobbin. It tells you when it's out. Because that's one thing I don't focus on that a lot. And I've done like the entire tie strap for a mask. And it ran out just after the edge of the mask. So that was another like foot or so of thing that I thought I had done. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Let's see, which one is this? Is it this? Yeah, hello. Yep. Oh, thank you, Alex. It was done by Jelly here. So if you're in the market for a VTuber plus the rigging, Jelly does that. I don't remember my command for that already. It is under my VTuber section. Model. That's what it is. It's model. That's it. So yes, Jelly did the model and the rigging. I'll do my swing. Oh, there you go. So you can see the back of the hood there in the back. The back of my hair if I look up, and all the things moving and when I move. So I really like the rigging too. There's lots of movement. I see a lot of awesome. Jelly is in the UK and streams mornings my time, sometimes early mornings. They do crafting, sewing, cosplay, and then art, VTube models, rigging, various things. If you'd like to see the actual behind the scenes of them creating and rigging my model, you can see those there. It's not the whole process, but it's a good chunk. It's a couple hours of each. And it gives you a really interesting look at how all the effects were created, the things Jelly's thinking about when they're doing the art. It's like, oh, well, the art, I'm doing the art this week, so I'm thinking about how to rig it later, and this, and the hundreds of layers they used in Photoshop to get it working the way they wanted, and then the rigging of the effects and how they link them together and do different things. And yeah, I thought it was pretty fascinating, but then again, it was my models and my rigging, so of course I'd be interested. But it was still, the process was interesting to me, and all the thought that goes into it. So I've seen a lot of people that have art and rigging done by separate people, and it seems like you have to really, yeah, it is very interesting. See, I think, you know, I haven't had one done split where you hire one person for the art, one person for the rigging, but it seems like they'd have to really closely communicate to figure out, you know, the artist needs to know what the rigger's going to do to some extent, and the rigger needs to know what the artist intended to some extent, so that everything works together. Because when you talk about hundreds of layers, and you have to individually take those layers and make them do things in the rigging, it just, wow, that's a lot. So yeah, and Jelly's commissions, I believe, are still open, although given the numbers earlier, there might be a backlog currently. And I'm amazed what I got for the price, because I've been looking around at different VTubers, and I go in and most of them show the credit for who did their model and rigging. So I go in and see, you know, how much their model cost, how much their rigging cost, and what are the other things that rigger and modeler did, and get an idea of whether that style is something I want or not. And then just see what the rigger did, because some of them do things in a different way or for different things. So I'm just using the basic VTube Studio here with my laptop's webcam. If I use a different camera, if I use, like, you can hook up one of the newer iPhones to get more involved eye and mouth tracking, and all this other stuff. And then there's also prices. So Jelly's price was all in one, and it was way less than some of them I've seen, I'll just say that. And I'm really happy with the result. So the top end is pretty unlimited. I've seen as high as 6,000 each for model and rigging. And I've seen, well, the lowest I've seen is some sketchy posts on Fiverr that's really low. But Jelly's prices, yeah, are newbie prices. And I tell you what, if you like this style and you're interested, jump on it right now before they go get higher as Jelly gains experience and does more things, because I am so happy with what I got. And I know some people that got paid more than I did for mine and are less happy. We'll just put it that way. So yeah, it's, oh, I missed one of Jelly's messages here. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I can see where somebody specializes in the model art and somebody specializes in the rigging, where they're probably, because their experience is more tailored toward that piece of it, the output is different. And it could be, if they really collaborate well, even better, like a multiplicative effect rather than just additive. Oh, let me show off a little bit here. Let's zoom in. Okay, here we go. I can zoom. So let's show off some of the details since we can. So you can see my logo was sort of used. And by logo, I mean this, same as my emote here. You can see where that was used as inspiration for pieces of it. I like Celtic knotwork, so you can see even these, the hanging on of these bangles is sort of knotwork. Oh yeah, the whole color scheme is my logo too. That's a good point. I thought that was off. I didn't point that out, but and then there's a subtle fade here on the hair. I got the necklace, and I got my initials here in the clasp. You can see some details here in the gold sections. There's a little bit of detail there. The beads are all detailed. The bangles and stuff are detailed. There's stitch lines here. There's actually, this belt has a texture to it. It's kind of tough to pick out. If you watch the model creation video, you'll see where Jelly does this part. It's a neat effect, I think. And then, yeah, down here in the tabard, the front piece, you can see how the knotwork is here, and it's faded out as it goes down. And then, oops, get back to I didn't want a new instance of VTube Studio. There we go. I love this. See the liquid in the flasks or test tubes, how they liquid all moves? Yeah. Yeah, I love that piece. And you can even see, like, here's the string that ties them to my belt is on here. I have a ring on. It's kind of difficult to see. I kind of like how subtle it is, but when you zoom, you can see there's a ring here, and then on the other side, there's a bracelet that peeks out sometimes as I move with some beads on it. There's also a tattoo up here and sort of a bracelet around my upper arm with some beads on it that you don't see all the time. And then there's these designs on the armor on the legs. My knotwork again on the trim here. And then the boots, different colors, and yeah, the trim down here has some design on it. And you can see just the shadows moving, and I don't know, just all the details in here are really neat. And then if I can find my ooh eyes, there you go. You can see what happens when I do the ooh eyes. when I'm zoomed out, it's kind of subtle. It's much more obvious here what that emote does. And you can see my, well, that's the magic one. My confused, oh, that's the wave. Where's the other one? There it is, angry. My default expression for some reason is kind of angry, so I need to figure out my settings and fix that. I have a little bit of movement in the eyes too. It's just, it's awesome. Go back to the whole thing. Something like that is where I was, I think. Close enough. Yeah, it's so many details. Oh, and the other thing that you'll see if you watch the model creation video is that Jelly has an Easter egg hidden on my model. So that's fun too. Yeah. So I don't want to misspeak, but Jelly has a commissions page that you can look at to see the requirements and the will nots. That's one thing I've noticed, that pretty much every VTube model artist has will nots. So some people aren't comfortable doing wings or nudity or whatever. Whatever thing they don't want to, oh, mecha, that's another big one. And then you have, you know, everybody has their style, so you pick your artist based on their style partly, and partly about what they will do, and, you know, whatever price point you are looking at and all that. So, like I said, I think Jelly was a bargain for what I paid, and because Jelly's new, their prices are extremely low. So, you know, if you're interested at all, now's the time. If you want something that is, oh yeah, you can see my hood there. You don't see the bits. Yeah. Well, after watching you do some of the rigging, I can't even imagine some of the stuff I'd want to do, how I would go about doing it. Or some of the stuff I've seen done, even. Like I said, if you really want to get a good idea of what VTubers are out there, follow VTube Studio on Twitter. And I think there's some hashtags too, VTuber Showcase or something like that. But look at VTube Studio's recent retweets and you'll see them. And it's these short videos that just show off their new models and or rigging. And usually they give credit to everybody. So they give credit to who the model is for, who did the art, who did the rigging, and anybody else involved in that process. And then they do a short video that shows off, you know, everything they've done, like all the different details in the art, all the different, you know, really obvious and subtle ways they did the rigging and all of that. Oh, I didn't show off, I forgot to show off the, no. There you go, the magic. The rest of the magic emote. So I have this magic emote where my eyes turn color, and then I've got this ball of magic that I can throw, sort of. And yeah. And even just looking at that, like, I would love to be able to, oops. There we go. To change colors on that, or have a different outfit, or be a different class, or have a different art style, or have some accessories like a staff or a sword or shield or whatever. And all that stuff is, like, now that I have this as a base to work from, I feel like it's really possible to go there. So, like, I haven't really looked at Shifty, for example, and how they use their various models. But one of the tutorials I was looking at for how to set up the redeems that I have. So I have channel port redeems that you can do emotes, and right now I only have head pats for items and other things. But that tutorial goes over how to randomize pretty much everything. As long as it already exists in VTube Studio, you can randomize all the things. So if you want to pick up a random item, or if you want to pick a random piece of clothing or whatever, you can do that with it. And the examples they give are really neat of all the different stuff you could do. Like they have one, they start with a simple one that's a disguise, and it's just a mustache. So you can turn the mustache on off. Well, then they get into, well, now you can have a hat. Well, now you can have a beard. Well, now you can have all these various outfits that they have. And they have, like, you know, armor and all sorts of, like, barmaid and muscle-bound dude and all sorts of things you can change. It's just really neat. Oh, and a pet. Like, I would love to have, like, a rat pet or a cat pet. And whether I'm, like, holding it evil villain style, or whether it's, like, perched on my head or shoulder, or, you know, running around behind me, or whatever it is, I'd love to be able to have that and turn that on and off. And there's so many possibilities. I'd love to see how other people... I'd love to see other people's take on this character now that the character's established. Yeah. Because I'd love to have a rat and a cat and maybe a dog and maybe a squirrel. And, you know, obviously my favorite is rats and cats because I have cats. I used to have rats, but I've had a dog before. My favorite is pretty much rats and cats for different reasons. And, you know, I've seen people, you know, if you go on, like, Etsy, you can see people that have stream pets and stuff. But, like, there also are default VTubers that you can mess with. Hello, how are you? How's it going? Thanks for coming in. I'm really happy to be debuting my VTuber by Jelly. Talking about all the things, all the possibilities. I'm happy to finally get my debut out. That's what I'm happy about. I've been sitting on this character for over a month, and today was the day I finally had energy to go ahead and do this. So I'm happy to have it out in the world and let people see what Jelly and I collaborated on. Although, to be fair, Jelly did, what, 99% of the work? And even all I did was provide a basic thing of, hey, I want an NB wizard mage kind of character, and here's a couple of photos for inspiration. And run with it. And Jelly ran with it and came up with this. And I'm so happy. So, yes, that's where we're at. Yeah, but you asked the questions, and then you took all my little suggestions, and, like, there was a couple things I didn't like that choker at first. I liked the choker idea, but the way it looked, like I had a double chin, was weird. So, but then I was like, oh, well, what up, you know, let's do this, let's try that, let's do that, let's do that, let's do that, you know, all these little things. Yeah, Alex. And that's I guess my preferred way of working is, like, you know, well, Alex knows because Alex is in at least a couple of the streams that I'm in where I love original art. So, and I don't love the commission process necessarily, but I love having the one of a kind. So I've got a bunch of originals by Insomniac's Dream. I've got a couple originals by Beauty and the Beasts. I've got art by Mina. Who else do I have art from? Well, I have some coming from somebody new that I just ordered the other day, and a couple of other artists overseas that I've gotten art from that I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, Pantuffles. And Ophi. Yeah, I have some art from Ophi. I have actually original Game Over cross stitch here from Ophi sitting on my wall. One of the few things I've actually put up on my walls, because most of it needs to be framed. But oh, nice. That'd be good. That'd be fun. Yeah, I know you wanted the pair. Yeah. So I like having things that are just for me. I guess is the best way to put it. That's why I like originals better than prints. And that's what I get frustrated about with digital art in particular, is that you only get prints, really, right? You can get a file, but that's not the same thing, really, as having that original physical piece of art. Oh, that's really neat, Alex. And then you could sort of have it be similar, but not exactly the same for yourself. That'd be fun. If you don't know, we're talking about, oops. I have to set up my touch portal, so I don't have it right now, but talk about Insomniac's Dream. And who, sadly, just came back for a convention, was it last weekend, and has the big plague again. So I was trying to recover from that. But they're an artist that Alex and I both support through Patreon. So, and we both have a bunch of art by them. In fact, one of the ideas that I have for an upcoming stream is to go over just all of the art that I have sitting around in a pile from various, I think almost all of them, if not all of them, are streamers. There's one or two of them I'm not sure of, but the rest of them I'm pretty sure are streamers. So I really love getting that original art, although the commission process kind of stresses me out because I just want something that speaks to me that's original without having to give too much guidance. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I need to go upstairs in my pile and kind of organize it a bit and then bring it down here and figure out what machine I'm going to be showing that off. I probably should use the better camera, so I probably should either use this machine and move it over to my desk over here, or I mean table, or figure out how to do it over here. I don't know. I'll figure something out on how to do that. That's the reason I didn't do it today. I wanted to get the debut part over with and talk about how awesome my VTuber model and rigging is. What a great job Deli did, rather than focus on too much else. But I do plan to do that on a future stream. So, yes. Hey, Hayama. Yeah, I could do that. I think the big thing would be my lighting. It can be annoying to show artwork because some of it has gold foil, or some of it has what do you, Alex? What does Meg call that? The print of the month, where they have that sticker on it that does the weird light effects. Yeah, but what's the effect called that happens? Yeah, like the holograph stickers. that they put over it to make it look kind of a weird rainbow shimmer in different patterns depending which one they put on. That's kind of interesting to show off. Yeah, it's hard to capture that. So I like to be able to move it around and kind of show the shimmer and stuff. So we'll see. I'll try to figure out better lighting. My lighting is fine for when I'm doing, sewing and cross-stitching and crafting kind of stuff, but it's not so great, or even lock sport, but it's not so great when I'm trying to show off art, especially if it's still in the plastic bags and stuff to protect it, or it has a holograph sticker on it. So we'll see. I'll try. And Hayama is one of my IRL friends, if you guys don't know. If y'all don't know, sorry. Try to take you guys off my language list. But yeah, I could try to take just better photos of each of them as well. Oh, really? Amazon has cheap UV lights, I'll say. I got a slightly fancier one, bigger one, because I was looking for pet mess. And if you like I used to, live with someone who has a dog that doesn't understand they have to go out to go to the bathroom, then having a UV light to detect where they messed up is a necessity. So you can clean all of it up. I'll just say that. It is very useful for that. I also have it for geocaching, because sometimes geocachers use UV pens to hide things in places. So it is useful for that as well. But I mostly got it for using it to figure out where. And of course, if you have rats and let them run around, they're going to scent mark everything. So you can sort of pick out, if you've let them out and run around, where exactly they did all that. Again, to clean it up. So it's useful for that as well. But I also have a comic that Hayama knows, because I think Hayama has the same one. There was this comic that came out by Warren Ellis, but that had came with a little UV, like almost, those keychain LED things that they sell cheaply at various places. It was one of those, but they did part of the comic in UV, which was an interesting concept. I didn't think it was that interesting in practice, but the concept was interesting. So, yeah. I have not looked at my UV painting in its glory either, I will say. I've looked at it. It's neat, but it came in a pack of other stuff, and I think that was when I was busy, so I didn't really get a chance to spend much time with it. But I will. I can do that on stream too, if I can control my lighting enough. I should be able to over there. So yeah, we'll do that at some point. I have a bunch of Lego sets that I found locally that were on sale, so I have those to put together. So that's some content. I need to get outside and do some geocaching IRL. And I have a chest mount for my phone now to try to do that. So we'll see how that works. Let's see what else. I thought there was something else I had in mind for upcoming streams, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, I just realized I bought this portable monitor that's basically just an ultra widescreen monitor tablet that isn't touchscreen. They use just as a monitor. So that's kind of the form factor. It's just a screen that looks like almost like you cut a laptop in half, and it's just the screen part of a laptop. And it works great with my work machine, my work laptop, which was my primary purpose, but I also want to use it for streaming so I could have chat up in on another monitor, because I'm sitting on my couch using a laptop at the moment. But for some reason, it doesn't work off of USB-C with my fancy new gaming personal laptop. It works with my old unfancy corporate laptop, though. And I don't know why. It's frustrating. So I have to actually use the HDMI out if I want to use it with my gaming PC here for streaming, but I forgot to set all that up before I started. Oh well. It's going well enough, I think, at the moment. Yeah. So, art. Yes, I do have more art coming. I have a monthly Patreon package from Insomniac's Dream. And then I just ordered a couple pieces. I think it was 3 from like Jenny Bun Paints or something like that, I think was who I got them from. I talked about on Beating the Beast stream the other day, so I don't remember off the top of my head who it was. And maybe after that comes in, I'll have my new stuff for this month comes in, or last month, however you think of that in Patreon terms. After all that stuff comes in, I'll figure out an art stream and I'll show it all off. Oh, Chloe Ventura is the other one that I have art from that I remember the name of. But I know there was somebody else. I don't know. So look forward to that. And oh, I got the mobile game I play on my iPad, which is D4DJ. So if you've seen the D4DJ anime, it's the tie-in rhythm game. Works really great on my iPad. I play it, well, every day because it has daily stuff to do. I did, in theory, figure out how to capture that. Last time I only had video, I did not have sound. I figured out how to capture the sound, I think, as well. Although I need to redirect it to another channel so I don't get a copyright strike. So I still need to do some setup for that if I'm going to do it. But I could do a little bit of that on stream. Some of the new songs are really fun. And they have some anime theme songs, like they have Sailor Moon and Cat's Eye and A Certain Scientific Railgun. They have a Cruel Angel's Thesis from What's Majigger. There's a couple other anime theme songs I can't think of what they have in there. Oh, they have Pokemon. And they just released a new group that has some, the way they do their charts is really interesting. So I'd like to show some of that. And another one of the songs is interesting. It's called something like Won't You Please Die? It's a very upbeat song. It's fun. But what else? Oh, I was going to play Vampire Survivors. That's what I was going to do. Oh, and some DDO. I was going to play some Dungeons & Dragons Online. Because I haven't done that in a while, and Hardcore is going right now, so that'd be fairly easy to jump into if I felt like doing that. If y'all don't know, I used to stream Dungeons & Dragons Online exclusively. That's how I got started streaming. I was part of their stream team, so I streamed on their channel and not mine, mostly. So I did that for over a year. So most of that first year plus of streaming was on their channel. Yeah, D&D is online is fun. If you like MMOs, it's got more story than most of the MMOs I've seen. So like as compared to Warcraft, which is a lot of, hey, go get these 300 wolf pelts for me for no apparent reason. It's, hey, this guy ran off with this thing and this other thing happened and we need you to go retrieve the thing that he stole and watch out for the 300 wolves that you might find on the way and blah blah blah. It's a little more story, and the stories all tie in and relate to each other, so you'll see characters that recur from different quest lines coming back in another quest lines. And so if you're plot driven, I think it's probably the best. Older, it's dated, so you don't have to worry about having the best hardware. It's what, 15 years old now? I can't remember the exact number. It's fairly old. I've been playing it for quite a while, off and on, and yeah, it's a good time. Like most MMOs, it's best if you have a friend group, or you can get a collab stream group together to do it. That's where it's the most fun. But you can have fun either by yourself or with a pickup group if you can find one. And if you're familiar with D&D at all, you'll be at least familiar with the basics. It is, a system that's based on D&D 3.5, I think, but it's its own system, separate from that. So if you have any background on that, you'll be mostly familiar with how a lot of things work. And then it's just a matter of, if you're going to min-max or go the role-play route or however you're going to handle things. But, yeah, I've enjoyed it for quite a while. I'm not currently subscribed, but they've been giving away all of their adventure packs, older adventure packs for free every once in a while. So you have a bunch of quests to play for free even. You can play a lot of it for free. You don't have to subscribe. And the other thing I like about it is you can play pretty much the whole game for free. And you can buy most of the things you can't get off the bat with the currency that you can earn in-game for free. That makes it pretty unique among the MMOs that I know of. And that most of them seem to be, there's a wall between what you can play for free and what you can get if you pay. And this is you can pretty much do everything. Now, it'll take you longer to unlock that stuff because you have to build up that currency again. But if you wanted to, you could play strictly free. And that's a big point in its favor to me. Because being neurodivergent like I am, if I am in the mood to play, I may play, every day, 8 hours a day for a month straight and then not touch it for a year. So a yearly subscription model, or even a monthly subscription model that recurs, isn't really great for the way I work. So being able to drop back anytime to free play and know, even if they add content, I can get most of it for free because I have currency built up already. It's really nice. And that also is great if you're kind of leery about starting this, like, well, I don't know, because, if you play WoW or something, get it pretty expensive pretty quick. But knowing that you don't have to buy anything and you can get everything for free eventually, it's just a lot easier. And then if you want to spend and get their points to buy stuff, you can't. Or if you want to buy stuff directly, you can. I don't know. It's got its own features, and I like it, but it's not for everybody. But I will say, if you haven't tried it, again, it's free, and you have some time and you're interested, give it a try. Go through the tutorial at least. Go through the first tutorial area. That's a couple hours of content there, and that should give you an idea. If you want help, just ping me, let me know. And if I'm available, I'll be happy to. I can roll up a new character on most servers. And you have to do the tutorial first, though. We can't group up until after you've done the tutorial. So that's one thing I always recommend people if they want to play, is get through the tutorial first, and then you can have help with real people that you can actually talk to on Discord and stuff and get real-time assistance on. I don't mind playing through the tutorial area. It's familiar. It's comfortable. I played in a static group for over a year where it was like once or twice a week we would play on the same day for a couple hours, and we did every quest in the game on the hardest difficulty as much as we could. Some of them we couldn't complete, we had to drop down or skip or whatever, but as much as we could, we did all the quests in the game at the hardest difficulty we could at the time. And it was a lot of fun. It was difficult sometimes, it was easy other times. But it was a lot of fun. And we played mostly with people. Well, you have a 6-person party, so it was half and half. Most people were in the UK. Yeah, we had 3 people in the UK and 3 people in the US. So finding the right time was interesting as well. Oh, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. I am going to take the name out of Stream Elements, I guess, is where it is right now. If I can, because some channels have just follow notices on without the names, so you can follow anonymously if it bugs you to be called out, and I respect that, so I would like to change that. It's one of those things, again, I've been trying to retweak my entire setup, and I've only gotten so far, but I do want to do that in the near future and take that out, because I don't think it's necessary. It's nice to know that I've got to follow, but it's not necessary to actually name the person if they don't want to be named. That's why my Mix It Up bot one, it just says thanks for the follow and doesn't have the name in it. So, yeah. I am running out of topics. Maybe want to talk about anime they've watched recently. I've tried to rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho recently. It's been a long time since I watched it, and I will say it's a little rough to start. Yeah, Jim Millens does that. It's a little dated. It's a little rough to start with. The animation is not great. Story is okay. It's a pretty typical shonen story, but I know it gets better later. I'm trying to make it to that point. I've been trying to catch up on Spy Fam. I've been trying to catch up on... What was the other thing I've been catching up on? I'm almost current on Tony Kawa. There's one other thing I was catching up on, and then I have some other stuff to go back to that I skipped from previous seasons. Some of it's just episodes that I skipped, and some of it's entire things. I still haven't watched some of the newest Legend of Galactic Heroes. I need to catch up on that. I'm waiting for the current season stuff to either end or get close to the end before I catch up on it. Because I like to binge watch. I don't like to do episode every week kind of stuff. So that's what I've been watching recently. I got these Blade Runner Origins trade paperbacks from the library, so I read one of them so far. I got 2 more to get through of those. If you like the Blade Runner universe, they're somewhat interesting. They're about the Nexus 5 generation, and some background on that. Yeah, that's one I'm waiting on, Hayama. I am waiting on that to finish because I know I'm going to binge the heck out of it. And in fact, I may go back and rewatch the first season before I watch the second. I'll see. I am going to rewatch the first season for smartphone before I watch the second. I know that for sure. Because I do not remember that one. I remember watching it, but I don't remember anything about it. So I'm going to go back and watch rewatch the first season and then go right into the second and binge the whole thing probably in a weekend. But Kuma 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 Bear, if y'all don't know, I really, really, really love that show. I didn't read the manga like Hayama did, but I did read the light novel. Light novels, and I got a little past where the first season ends, I think, with the light novels before I stopped, because I realized where I was. So I'm gonna rewatch Kuma 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 Bear season 1 and then season 2 when that ends because I'm really looking forward to watching that. Like I said, love the first season of it. It was, I don't know, it just hit the sweet spot of a number of different genres for me. From back in that, I don't know if it was that season specifically, it was around that time, was Super Cub, which is also one I really enjoyed. There's another one from around that time. Oh, isn't that when Spider came out? Around the same time? And Hayama knows this because I ranted to Hayama before about it. But so my Spider Now What, I really enjoyed about half of it. And the half that I enjoyed was the spider part. I absolutely loathed the human part. I did not care about the humans. I didn't want to see the humans, and I didn't want to hear about the humans. All I wanted to see was the spider parts, and there was too much, especially as the first season. The second season is nowadays. I don't remember. I really don't remember where Spider left off, but and that's another one that I read some light novels for, but I did not read the manga for. But I watched at least the first season of the anime for. Yeah. Yes, it was. The ending song for Spider is amazing. But yeah, light novels had a lot of the same problem that I had with the anime, and there was too much of the human part. I think it was done better in the light novels, and I don't remember where I left the light novels on. I think it was at or slightly ahead of season 1 ending for Spider. I don't remember. So, but yeah, I loved the first season of Spider parts of the first season of Spider. I thought it was amazing. And I really enjoyed the first season of Spy Fam until maybe the last 2 episodes. There was something in there that I didn't like the school scenes. For some reason, I didn't like the school scene. I loved the schoolmaster, the headmaster of the school. I love that character. But the actual stuff in school, I don't want a school anime out of Spy Fam. That's not the parts I'm interested in. Even though the headmaster is great. So any school parts without the headmaster, I don't really enjoy. Yeah, I need to look up the manga for that. For Spider, because I think I might have got one of them. I might have read part of one of them, but I didn't get too much further than that. So I may continue with the manga or start over with the manga, I guess. So like I said, the Spider is the character that I care about in that show. For a Spy Fam, I love Yor. I think everybody loves Yor. So, yeah. Trying to think of what else is either new or interesting. There's a couple other isekais that I saw interesting. I've mostly been reading stuff on Royal Road. So I've mostly been reading isekai, cultivation, some cyberpunk, and mostly in the fantasy, some grimdark stuff. It's mostly been reading on Royal Road recently. There's some great stuff out there. If you didn't know, it's all free until it gets put on Amazon as actual ebooks. But you can also, there are plugins for Calibre where you can grab all that stuff into an ebook format so you can read on an e-reader if you have one. So like I have a Kindle that I read all that stuff on. I just find it a lot easier to read than on a screen, on a computer screen, or even on my tablet. So I read a lot of stuff on my Kindle and then catch up on another device after I finished all the hundreds of chapters that are already out there. And then a lot of times I go and buy the ebooks later on Amazon once they're over there, because some of these stories are really good, and plus they're re-edited on Amazon usually. So that's one thing you have to realize about when you're reading this on a railroad. It's a lot of amateur authors. It's basically fan fiction, right? So you'll have a lot of grammar, spelling, tense, word choice, just regular basic editing stuff that needs to happen for him to be polished up. That's interesting, because for Overlord, I remember watching it, but I don't remember anything about it. So I think I'd have to start over again. So I remember liking it. I just don't remember much from it. So stop marking. Kratos, one of my cats, is up here trying to mark my Blade Runner Origins light novels that aren't mine from the library. So, yeah. 4 seasons. Then, yeah, I suppose I should start over. That's a lot. That'll be probably a week or two before I'm through that, if I can sit down and concentrate on it. We'll see. Oh, I forgot to... Talking about art, I have this art sitting here that I can stare at on my wall here that I should show off when I do my art thing. So I have these... I found these off of Etsy. They are mashups of Ghibli and classic Japanese woodblock prints. So the one I can tell you what it is right off the bat is I have the Great Wave of Kamigawa that's mashed with Haku from Spirited Away. So it's got that great wave and the boats, but Haku is in the middle of it. And there's another one that has a rainy view of Mount Fuji in the background. It's like over a lake with Totoro in it. Another one looks like a winter scene of Mount Fuji in the background with sun on it. So, all right, Jangles. Thanks for being here. Now you've seen it, we can talk about it again later. See you, well, on your stream tomorrow, probably. Yep. I'm so happy it's out in the world and I can share, discuss now. Skipped some of the novel story to get to season 4, but that skip story is apparently to be a movie. Huh, interesting. That's one thing that Crunchyroll could do better. Well, there's several things that Crunchyroll could do better. One, their interface is awful. Just in general. And second of all, they could put things in the correct order and stop flagging things as new if they just put a new language on it. And then correct their UI stuff. That's awful. Yeah, so there's like 4 things that Crunchyroll could do better. But I watch most of my anime on Crunchyroll. I was going to talk about, Demon Slayer. I have tried to get into Demon Slayer like 4 times, and I just cannot get into it. And I don't know why. I can't. The first couple times I couldn't get past like the 2nd or 3rd episode. And I finally got further in, and then I couldn't even make it to the end of the 1st season. I can't remember what episode I'm on. It's where some really annoying guy pops up. And that character I just could not get past. And the rest of it I'm not that interested in. Like, I like Nezuko, but that's about it. And some of the enemy designs are somewhat interesting, but I just cannot get into that show. Yeah. So other people that are around now, I know Jelly and Hayama have some pretty deep knowledge of anime, and it's awesome to be able to talk anime with people, because a lot of people don't, either they don't know anything or not much, and it can be difficult to try to get somebody started if they don't really, like, whatever, okay, well. But it's really fun to talk with people who know all the different shows and stuff, or at least have heard of them. So I like talking with Elise as well. She knows a lot of movies and anime. Yeah. Watch, read, interact with, whatever. Anime, manga, light novels, somewhere in there. It's a lot of the same stuff in all three medium, so. Yeah, like Insomniac's Dream, we were talking about earlier, just got back from Anime North. And then, like last night, I watched part of Anime Hell for Anime Central on Gav's stream. Which, if you've never seen Anime Hell before, it's an experience. It's different watching it on stream versus being in a room with a bunch of other people, like at a convention. And a lot of those people are still or have been drinking, but it's still interesting to watch. And that was, I'll give Gav a shout out because they did that last night. Did the replay of their Anime Central Anime Hell. And I don't remember Dave's Twitch name, but Dave also does replays of Anime Hell on their Twitch stream, as I understand it. That's it. I knew it was something obvious once I saw it. So there's another person who does Hell and streams their shows. So if you want to catch Hell sometimes, those are the two people to follow for that. I don't know if VODs are enabled because of the copyright stuff on either of those streams. If they are, Gav's stream from last night would be available, but I don't know. What else? Vampire Survivors is fun. I need to get back to that and finish the achievements off before they drop another update. Because I saw that their updates are coming with more maps and characters and items and stuff. So I'd like to catch up at some point. What have I been playing other than that? I really haven't been playing much else. Just my normal daily games. And yeah. Alright, so I think I'm going to call it here. I'm going to say successful debut. It's been 2 hours. I didn't catch everybody I wanted to catch, but I caught some of the people I did want to catch, so I'm happy with that. And yeah. Thank you everybody for showing up, for chatting, lurking. Facebook event. Interesting. And thank you to Jelly again for the awesome model and rigging, the tutorial on how to set it up, let's not forget that. That's another thing Jelly does that I saw some other people don't. Is that Jelly will send you a tutorial on how to set everything up, which is very nice. Part of the package. I basically saw one of the people said, as for commissions, once I send it to you, you're on your own. I'm like, okay, guess I'm not going to go through you because that's a little harsh here. But, and Jelly was very helpful with an issue I had where I wouldn't stop moving. And doing a little beat movement there that would not stop no matter what I tried. That was weird, but we got it fixed at least, so yay. That's another thing if you're a first-time VTuber that I recommend Jelly for, is that Jelly will help you after the fact. Get you guided to at least getting it set up and going, and then from there you're on your own, but at least you have that guidance up front to say, hey, here's how you set things up. Here's all the things you need to tweak. Did it working at a base level correctly? And yeah. Here's all your emotes. And all that fun stuff. Oops. So one of these days I'll remember which one's which. There we go. So I don't have my ending screen set up, but I do need to find somebody to raid. No, I was haunted. Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, I am a software tester, so it is my job to find all those things. So I'm not surprised that I found them. But, yeah, let's see who's on. Find somebody to raid real quick. And we'll send you over there because I hate to just drop without sending you somewhere. And hopefully somebody that I know with a VTuber is on. That's the ideal case, right? And of course the raid isn't very much help. So I have to go to my following section to see who's on. There are two people specifically, but I take one of the others if they're on. Nope. No. Oh, here we go. This is awesome. I don't know if they're still VTubing, or PNG tubing, but we will go raid them. This is perfect. Let me get back to... Oh, so many windows on one screen. It's hard to find the right one. Here we go. We're going to... Oops. Raid. We're going to raid Panda. So, Panda is one of the first people that I saw that did a PNG/VTube sort of thing. And you can call them Red Panda or Read Panda. It's either way. It's why they chose that particular word. And their avatar is a red panda. So enjoy them. And again, thanks for being here. And we will see you next time, whatever it is, whenever it is, however it is. I'll put my starting student screen as my lead out, but see you next time.